Dear colleagues, my name is Demidovich and I'm PhD student of Ukrainian State University of Science and Technologies. My scientific supervisor is Viktor Shynkarenko, and today we want to represent to your attention our work, which is dedicated to natural language text authorship establishing. First of all, this work is based on the theory that each author has own style of sentence building. So, in this work, we try to capture it and use it later in authorship determination. In this work, we use several methods. The first method is stochastic grammar that is used to create rules that will describe the structure of sentences in a text. And also to obtain more reliable result, we use confidence intervals and apply students' t-test. How did we form the rules? First of all, each word in a text is replaced with the part of the speech to which it belongs. After that, the probability of its appearance in specific place of the sentence in text is calculated. Each rule shows the transition from the word to the next one and its probability. To build the rule, all sentences that start with the same part of speech are grouped. Then we calculate the probability of this part of the speech as the first word in a sentence. After that, we discard the first word and the procedure is repeated for the next word in the sentence. Probability is calculated as the number of cases in the text divided by their whole number. In this slide, you can see an example of few sections of the rule which describe those sentences written by Ivan Bagriani Etude that start with the verb. As you can see, 31% of sentences began with a verb and 17% of the sentences in this text consisted only of one word, that is a verb. To compare two works, they must be presented in a form of rules. Each sequence of rules in one text is compared with each sequence of rule in another text. The degree of similarity of two sentences will be determined as the product of minimum difference between the probabilities of their appearance, and the degree of text structural similarity is a sum of all its sentence similarity degrees. To obtain more reliable result, we use confidence interval and calculate it to all authors in our samples. We apply students' t-test. In our samples, we use literally text, and the whole experiment we can divide into two parts. In first part of it, we work with 20 works by 10 Ukrainian authors in a training sample, and the control sample consists of 3 works by these authors. The name of them you can see on your screen. And in the second part of the experiment, both samples were doubled. Now, in this slide, you can see the table which represents confidence interval by authors. According to its analysis, we can say that confidence interval can be a characteristic feature of author's style. If it is big, it can indicate a low level of differentiation of the author's style, and as a result, a poor result in determining the authorship of his works, and vice versa. This figure represents the results that we get working with the smallest sample, and according to this, we have 24 cases of correct authorship attribution, which is 80%. The most well-determined authors are Олександр Довженко, Панас Мирний, Всеволод Нестайко, and Valerian Підмогильний. And Ivan Franko turned out to be the most difficultly defined author. And the second part, where we work with doubled samples, working with them, we get 45 correctly determined authorship for works. That is 75%. In this case, we have best result working with Panas Myrny texts, and the worst result working with Kvitka Osnovyanenko and Markovov-Chok. Then we take into account the confidence interval and we get following result. In 14 cases, the correctly recognized author was obtained, and it is 23%. In 36 cases, we can to narrow the number of applicants to 3, and within them, 31 cases, the applicant with the greatest structure similarity was the correctly recognized author, which is 52%. And also only in 10 cases, the authorship of the text was not determined. That is 17%. In conclusion, we can say that results that we get start from 75% and reach 80% without confidence interval, and after taking it into account, we can improve the result to 83%. Also, we can say that confidence interval can be a characteristic feature of author's personal style. In our future plans, we want to combine this method with previously studied, and also we want to do more detailed tagging for words in the sentences and add some forms, numbers, genders, etc. To the word, so we can get more information about the sentence. Thank you for your attention.